It's back. 2 years without the rotating bezel. The Galaxy Watch 6 Classic brings back one of Samsung's favourite features. But did it ever really go away? I've now spent 2 months with the design marvel that is the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. Is this Samsung's best ever smartwatch? Let's go. There's a misconception out there that the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro replaced the Classic in Samsung's wearable lineup, and doing so doomed the rotating bezel into oblivion. That was never the plan. Samsung changed the Classic to a 2-year refresh cycle so they could introduce the more rugged Watch 5 Pro into the lineup without sacrificing the Classic at all. And it worked. The Watch 5 Pro was my favourite Samsung product of 2022. But depending on your smartwatch usage, it wasn't for everybody. Samsung played the long game though. They knew that in 2023, the Classic was coming back. So in my 2 months with this, I have used it every single day. I've tested the battery, its durability, the display, and the health features. Let's take a look at the categories that I'm going to cover across this review. Pretty much follows that exact lineup. It's going to be looking at the design and the display. It's going to be taking a look at the software, because it is running Wear OS, but Samsung has its own flavor on top of it. The health and the fitness tracking and the things that I use, not necessarily the entire picture of what's available on here. And we'll look at the performance, things like the fluidity of the operating system, and we'll also look at the battery performance over the 2 months I've had it. But as usual, let's look at the design. The good thing with Samsung's Galaxy Watch range is ever since they introduced the Gear S series way back, they brought in the round watch face. Much more sense. It is my preferred design of a smartwatch because it doesn't look like you're wearing a computer on your wrist. It can kind of tie in both with the smartwatch world and with fashion at the same time. With the Watch 6 Classic this year, they've got a bigger display with smaller bezels surrounding it. And you notice it. You absolutely, when you're looking at it, you see a nice big screen that shows you all of your information you need. And it's got a classy but minimal bezel that protects it and surrounds it. Samsung also has a lot of great first-party watch faces that come right preloaded with the Watch 6 series, and I like this one here because it gives me a lot of health information, plus I can actually tap on it and go straight into things if I need to. The actual color, I chose the black, and I really like the stainless steel sort of finish that then kind of ties in with the black leather strap. All of that together makes for a really classy, sophisticated looking watch that sits on my wrist. On that watch strap too, it's a first-party solution. I like that it's leather on the outside, but it's got a rubber on the inside, so it's very comfortable and not irritating to wear, especially during dynamic activity. In the past, leather watch straps have kind of irritated my skin during running or exercise. This doesn't have that problem. It actually feels really comfortable. That's what I love about Samsung's aesthetic with their smartwatches, is it looks like a watch. Like, this is not out of place no matter what sort of outfit you're wearing. So I really appreciate that design principles that they follow, and the Watch 6 Classic is the better for it. It's also a really durable design. It's got IP68 and 5 ATM rating. So I've worn this thing in the shower, I've worn this thing in the surf, taken this thing a whole lot of places. It's taken a battering and it still looks like I took it out of the box yesterday. The display kind of formulates part of the design experience, and Samsung made the display bigger this year. By making the bezels a little bit smaller, they've extended the display into that area. So I've got the 47mm watch face here, and it doesn't look any bigger than what I remember the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro to be looking, even though it is bigger. The display is a marvel to look at. It gets super bright outdoors. You can go all the way up to 2000 nits in the right conditions, which means that you're never going to be out of pains to be looking at this thing or shadowing it. That's what I really like. The adaptive brightness works super well and gives me that confidence when I go outdoors. I'm looking and seeing the time when I need it. It's a watch, so ultimately you do need to see the time. I don't use always on display, partly in reason because I think the gestures to bring it up works well enough that always on display wouldn't be for me. That's for someone over there to be looking at it. Stop looking at my watch. Okay, so we've got the design out of the way. We know it looks like a watch. We know it's classy. Let's get into the software, because functionally you need this to work. It might look nice, but if it doesn't work nice, what's the point? I really like One UI Watch, and in particular here with the Watch 6 Classic, it is all built around the rotating bezel. Everything is just so intuitive with it. The navigation through the watch and through the software, rotating left to go to notifications, rotating right to go to widgets, a swipe up to get you down to the apps, and then rotating to go down through your apps list. All of it just feels so natural. It's just so intuitive, and I much prefer this than a digital crown, which I did try on the TicWatch series, their digital crown. It just didn't feel as intuitive as what the navigation is here. That's what's really great about the bezel, is that it doesn't intrude on the display when you're navigating. So you can rotate through and you still see that full picture of the screen, and you're not interacting with a bunch of swipes to get in the way, for example. Something that's really nice is there's like a really satisfying click. See if I can play it up to the microphone. Something that I really like too, and the Samsung's other smartwatches that don't have rotating bezels aren't able to do this, is when it's in waterlock mode, you can use the rotating bezel to navigate through. So if you've got notifications sitting there when you're in the shower, for example, you can still rotate the watch to the notifications. And even though you can't interact with the touchscreen, you're still interacting with the watch. You can't do that on the Watch 5 Pro or the normal standard Watch 6 because they have digital bezels, and that is part of the waterlock when you do turn that on. With Wear OS on here, Samsung had built Tizen up to a really strong level, but I think with Wear OS, it's just expanded the capability of what this can do. That being said, I haven't really used much of what Wear OS can offer on here. I don't really use a lot of the Google services that get integrated into here. It's nice that they're there, but I take advantage of things like Spotify. I use Spotify a lot. It's really great being able to download playlists offline, putting my earbuds in and just setting off on a run without anything but my watch and my buds. I don't need to think about carrying extra bulk on me. I just have this. To be perfectly blunt, I don't really take advantage of the full watch software features. To be fair, I might not think I do, but in fact I probably do. And it's probably the Samsung side of things that I take advantage of. The fact that it's all connected to Samsung services like reminders or the calendar, notifications all sync up really seamlessly within the Samsung account ecosystem, that whilst I might not think like I'm taking advantage of it, the convenience of it being part of the Samsung framework means that I don't have to think about it. It just works as seamlessly as it needs to. Health and fitness is another aspect of this watch that Samsung have been touting for years. Before I delve into my usage of this, I just want to talk a little bit about how smartwatches from years ago, like the original Galaxy Watch, I'll start there, that battery life, incredible. 4 days easily out of that watch. But as the smartwatches have evolved, so too have the sensors that have been crammed into it. So a lot of that has kind of mean that battery life has taken a hit because it's cramming in more and more health and fitness technology. So it's crazy. We're getting more and more advancements when it comes to technology, but some people just want battery life. I'll talk about battery life in a moment. I want to get into the health stuff here. I probably used maybe 20% of this watch's health capabilities. And even that's a lot already. I really take advantage of things like the running coach, or just even the running tracking in general, because the metrics that this puts out is phenomenal. When it syncs it up with Samsung Health, all of the stuff that it's tracked displays in a really, really neat and ordered fashion in the Samsung Health UI. You can see here you've got things like the running gait. It tells you your asymmetry, what you need to work on, and gives you some stuff that you can do to improve that sort of way of running. Things like sweat loss, where it sort of gauges based on weather conditions and maximum heart rate zones, your sweat loss that you've output, and then gives you a recommendation on how much water you should be drinking to replace it. Like, that's crazy. And also can make a big difference to someone's health picture if they start to sort of use this as a great guide to guide them through. Last year with the Watch 5 Pro, I was using the body composition quite a lot as I was trying to sort of improve my health picture. I sort of broke away from it a little bit and a little bit scared to go back to it now, but what's really great is knowing that it's there means that I will have this on my wrist when I'm ready to reintroduce myself back into that. And it's really quick and super fast, and it's wild that a watch can do that. Like, look at it. I'm also a frequent user of the ECG tracking. It's just good peace of mind that this is on here, because you never know when something like that might be necessary, and having that again on your watch, crazy. Something else when it comes to health is the sleep tracking. Samsung has been pioneering sleep tracking on their smartwatches for a long time. They might not have been the first, but they're definitely one of the longest running, and it's been native on the watch for a really long time. And they've just added things, sleep coaching, snoring detection. It's a bit of a touchy one for myself, but it has helped me identify that I can snore throughout the night. And It's also shown me where I've improved as I've sort of gotten healthier as time goes on too. It's really simple too, like you basically, the phone's on charge, wireless charger next to the bed, and the watch will detect I'm sleeping and activate the microphone on the phone to sort of sync up and then detect the snoring. That's pretty clever. Now, performance. A lot of people say, oh, Samsung smartwatches, great promise, let down by software, let down by its performance. Disagree. I've found nothing but fluidity when it comes to Wear OS and Samsung's implementation of it on the Galaxy Watch6 Classic. A large part of that is the rotating bezel, but also just the lightness of the software. It's not trying to be too heavy-handed, and there's enough about it that means that it flows and goes naturally. I got the 47mm, as I said. It has the biggest battery, but it also has the biggest screen. So what I've noticed with battery life is it's probably getting me through to about 40 to 48 hours of consecutive usage. So 2 days. At the start, it was easily doing that. It's probably tapered off a little bit as I've continued to use it. Definitely hits the lower end of 40 hours when I do things like Spotify and GPS tracking nearly every day. But I'm happy with that. I think for me, the Watch 5 Pro was easily a 3 to 4 day battery life watch for me. Again, probably at the lower end of 3 when I start to do those extra activities, and I had the LTE version. That's another video. But for me, getting 2 nights of sleep from a watch whilst being able to still do other activities in between, I think that's enough. And considering everything else that it does and the design that it has, I'm not too bothered. Especially because the charger that comes with it in the box actually can charge it really fast. I have no real worries about it, especially too, the watch will give you a little reminder that just 2 hours before bedtime, it actually prompts you to go put your watch on the charger. So then when you are ready for bed, it sort of helps you get ready for that. I like that. That's clever. You know, like it's actually worked for me too, because sometimes I could be unaware and say, hey, 2 hours until bedtime, why don't you chuck this on charge? And I'm like, thank you. I will. I also do use the wireless charger trio, which is slightly slower, but that's usually an overnight or a couple hours thing that I'm not too bothered by. So convenience for me wins out when it comes to charging with the Watch 6 Classic. The thing is, I wasn't going to get this. I was very, very happy with my Watch 5 Pro and its performance, especially when it comes to things like battery life. But there was something that just appealed to me about this. Something about the fact the rotating bezel is my preferred way of navigation. I really liked the size of it, and I definitely missed the leather strap. The strap on the Watch 5 Pro was both genius and infuriating at the same time. I'm happy to sacrifice a day of battery life to get the rotating bezel back on my wrist. I hope I don't have to wait another 2 years for Samsung to refresh it. Chances are they will. We'll probably see another Pro next year. But I'm just glad it's back, even though it technically didn't really go away. I've got a lot more reviews coming over the next few weeks. Fold, flip, tab, all of that still to come. So make sure you subscribe. Like this video and subscribe to the channel because you won't want to miss any of those. And between now and the next video, the next review, please make sure you come find me on Twitter/X and also on Instagram. I'll see you in the next one. Yo!